and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' ahead, stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm Wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Hard time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting on.
Shining, the birds are chirping.
Yeah. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, you know. You know who it is. You know what fucking time it is, Beaches. Testing, testing, testing. Welcome everyone to episode 14 hundo and Schnine of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio. Everson K2 flexing on you. Oh, the sponsors are large and in charge. Look at this, sponsoring every fucking day, making gains. That's how we slay. What is up, Swole fam? How are we doing? Today's Swole card is Swole fam, and I actually didn't write that one yet, so we're gonna go. Let's see, what color should we do today? I'm gonna go for red for Swole. I'm gonna do a red. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, it's a little bit. Do a live on camera, Swole. And then let's do fam. I feel like we could do red, white, and blue every fucking day. Am I right? Let's do Swole. Let's do a blue fam. Swole, fam, and then we're gonna sign that one. All right. So hashtag Swole fam if you want to win today's Swole card. Get the little signature. There we go. And 1409 on the back. There we are. And I'm going to put APS live. Bam. That's a nice one. That's super nice. Isn't it good? Isn't that beautiful? Hashtag Swole fam if you want to win today's Swole card. If you're new to the show, reminder that you can subscribe to the Daily Swole channel. We go live every single day and we give a Swole card at the end of every episode. So hashtag Swole fam in the comments, and I will pick a winner at the end of the broadcast. So how are we doing today? Let's take some questions. Again, today is Ask Papa Swolio Live. So any question goes. We'll just have a conversation. What's trending? Obviously, the coronavirus is trending. Obviously, everyone's staying inside or taking precautions. Or actually, I should say not everyone is staying inside. Not everyone is taking precautions, which is one of the reasons why I posted in the community section here on the page that you got to be smart. You got to take care of yourself. You have to make arrangements and be strategic. Use your fucking brain. It doesn't mean go absolutely nuts and panic and lose your fucking mind and pretend like there's a nuclear war or pretend like there's a category 9 fucking hurricane. However, you should be prepared. You should always have food. You should always have these emergency supplies. That's why They're called emergency supplies. You're supposed to have these things available. And we'll talk about some of this stuff. So let's take some questions. Let's just jump right into it because I know a lot of you have things you want to say, things you want to share. And actually, one of the things I think is great about the podcast is that because all of you live around the world, you can actually give real-time information for what's going on in your community. So if you want to share what's going on, are your gyms open? Are there lockdowns? Are there curfews? Like what's going on where you live and what country and where are you? So you could drop that in the comments too. Where do you live and what's going on in your area if you want to share some data or you want to share some information? I think that could be really beneficial to people, especially for those of you that, if we watch the news, if we watch literally CNN or Fox News all day, you're going to fucking just get bombarded by emotion. And we need to be a little bit more strategic with how we handle our situation because it's not going to go away overnight. We have to make sure that we're taking it seriously, but we have to get the right information, the facts, and you don't want people to go hysterical, which is, it's too late for that. Everyone's lost their fucking mind already. But let's see, meal prep for the week. How many of you are doing good? Let's see here. Jen, I got a text from my work that if you traveled out of state, you can't come to work. John G, should gyms stay open? This is a good question to start. Should they stay open? If you have, here's my suggestion. It's a tough call because like I've been saying, like I said in my previous YouTube video, that's right here on the channel if you haven't watched it yet. If you are in an area, like you want to stay healthy. One of the things that will prevent you or help prevent you, it won't stop a virus if you're going to get it. Just because you're healthy doesn't mean you're going to not get it. But if you are taking care of your health, you're going to be in a better situation. You're going to be in a better position. Your body is going to be able to have better immune defenses for all sorts of viruses, for all sorts of things, not just the coronavirus, but that's just one of the many things your body will be better off protecting itself against from illness, like from not sleeping or just from everyday stuff. Essentially the coronavirus, this is almost an everyday thing in the sense that we don't have defenses for it. This is something that was generated in those wet markets in China that jumped essentially, like the virus evolved and from animals, we caught it. We just don't have the defenses for it. So once the human race does, this one version won't be a significant problem, but there'll be another one. Like there will be another one. So this should be a lesson. If this is able to be contained or mitigated, however it does play out, it's going to be a lesson for the next time. But I'm one of the biggest proponents of keeping gyms open in general because being healthy is important. However, that does put you at risk, and especially in a situation where you don't want to necessarily have a lot of contact, you're literally touching every surface. So if the gym, here's what I will say, if the gym is staying open, they need to be disinfecting regularly. But at the same time, people need to take their health. Going to the gym is not going to be what gets you healthy. You could train at home. And that's what I've been saying about Swolenormous X, that's why we have the current, the videos that maybe you're seeing around online where, I have some great offers going on right now for people that need to train at home. So if your yoga studio is closed, if your gym is closed, I'm telling you, you can check out the special offers. Yesterday's video has it in the description. And I don't know if I put it in this video's description, but there's some great things with a exclusive yoga membership, with the 3-month membership. There's some great opportunities to join Swolenormous X so you could train at home. You could do all your yoga classes. So if you're interested in training at home, definitely check out the content on swolenormousx.com and check out the special offers in the previous videos and tomorrow's video. I'll put it in the description later, but you'll also see it or hear it through the grapevine. But now's the time to make sure that whatever you decide to do personally, whether your gym stays open, but really what you need to be preparing for is if it closes, because maybe it's not, okay, whether or not you're worried about getting sick, but if your gym closes, it's not your choice, then you can't go, even if you want to. Like that's a shitty thing. You can't get your workout on, even if you want to go, regardless of whether you're paranoid or taking precautionary measures or you're in a high risk situation. So it's important to have those resources at home so you can stay healthy, even if the other proprietor, like the gym, decides to close. So should they stay open? That's going to have to be an individual case by case, because if you're in a high infection area, no, you shouldn't. Absolutely not. However, if you're in the middle of nowhere and there's no cases around you and you haven't heard of anything, that's a judgment call, because just because there aren't yet doesn't mean there could couldn't be, and doesn't mean there won't be, and doesn't mean that closing the gym wouldn't be a better decision. So it's better safe than sorry. And also, if you want to take precautionary measures, you need to be overreacting. You need to get ahead. You need to make those moves in order to get ahead of things. And people that think it's overreacting, they just don't, they're short-sighted. You have to overreact to stop things. It's called getting ahead of the problem. So it doesn't, because if you just try to do a little bit here and there, you don't overreact, you're going to end up like fucking China and Italy that waited too long and now it's exploding. So shutting down travel, limiting things, it seems extreme, but that's how you slow things down so we can fucking handle it. Because fundamentally, we're not prepared. But the drastic action is actually very good for slowing these things down. Slowing it down. Slowing it down. They are going to close all the bars and restaurants tonight at 9. Maybe people will lose some weight. I don't know. I don't know if people will lose weight because apparently at Costco, everyone in all the supermarkets, all the junk food's off the shelves. So, people aren't eating healthy at home. That's for damn sure. That's what most people aren't eating healthy. That's for sure. They're eating fucking chips and garbage. And see, this is the problem. Ellen Josephine, my boyfriend's company only decided yesterday that travel overseas isn't okay at the moment. Only yesterday. Only fucking yesterday. Only yesterday. Jesus Christ. Only yesterday. Fucking hell. For real. For real. Make sure when you're asking questions, make sure when you ask questions, make sure that you use a question mark. Because I might miss some of these. I see some of you are asking questions, but you're not using the standard question punctuation that lets everyone know that it's a question, like me. Let's see here. T-Roz, does anyone know anyone personally who's tested positive? I don't personally, not yet. Let's see here. Does this mean I shouldn't be on Tinder? It's probably not a good time. Probably not a good time. Usually people are worried about other viruses that you catch on Tinder. Now people are worried about this one. Well, finally people are worried about diseases. Finally. Let's see. Daniel Martinez Hernandez. You got a lot of Z's in your name. Daniel Martinez Hernandez. Hey, Papa Swolio, I injured myself a week ago. My hamstrings feel really tight. My lower back and glutes hurt a bit when I try to sit with my legs outstretched and my back straight. I injured myself. Any tips? You injured yourself a week ago. Well, I don't know what you injured. My hamstrings feel really tight. My lower back and glutes hurt a bit when I try to sit. What did you hurt? Like, what happened? I injured myself. Okay. Like what? I know what hurts, but what did you do? What happened? Any tips? You probably have inflammation. You should be practicing some yoga, perhaps. You should see a doctor. I can't sit here and be like, oh, do these things because maybe that's contraindicative to like what is actually going on. Hey, do this. I don't want to tell you, hey, do yoga. And then it makes it worse because maybe your situation, I don't know what happened. So hard to say. And what happens, a lot of people when they get hurt, they start to try to go stretch it right away. And not always do you want to do that because of inflammation. If something's torn or damaged, you want to go yanking on it. So it could just be some ice or heat and ice, depending on how long it happened to go. You don't want to put heat on something that just happened per se. It depends. Let's see here. So this is the Ask Papa Swolio Live. Any questions you can ask away, ask away. We're also getting some feedback on what's going on in people's local communities when it comes to the coronavirus or gyms being open and closed. Any kind of details that you want to share are more than welcome. Just share them. Share them. Joseph Kai. Hey, Papa, a doctor in Philadelphia says not to go out if you don't have to, like gym or restaurants, etc. He is a jabroni. I went earlier today. Jabronis cough into their hands and then grab the bar. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. See, that's what happens. That's what happened. That's gross anyway, but that's what's going to spread these types of things. People that just don't give a fuck. I don't think the doctor's a jabroni. I don't think you should be going out to fucking restaurants and going to the gym. Why should you? Especially if you're in an area where it's spreading fast. Why would you put yourself at additional risk? And this doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. This doesn't mean that you're not going to get it eventually. You might get it in 5 months. You might get it next year. You might get it in the winter. That's what they're really worried about. They're worried about it coming back. They're worried about it coming back around because that's usually what happens. It'll come through. You'll get some people that handle it, will mitigate, slow it down. But then when the winter comes around and people's immune systems are, lower naturally, it'll come back for a second hit. So this is only the first wave. And that's what a lot of experts are saying about when it comes to China and Italy and all these lockdown procedures is once the issues are mitigated, what happens when people resume their daily lives again and people that weren't exposed are now vulnerable the way they were before, it's going to come back around. It's going to happen again. There'll be like another bump or another spike. So that's why it's going to take a while because all these containment procedures are great. But then what happens when people start going back to their normal lives? It's just we might be more prepared that first wave. So if we mitigate the wave now, the second wave can be mitigated in a similar fashion and will decrease or minimize or mitigate the severity and the quantity of the cases at any given time. So the flow can be maintained. Let's see. Is there a way to stream Swolenormous videos to a Chromecast? Sure. Just do it with your computer or your phone or AirPlay it on your phone. Yeah, plug it in. Do whatever you would normally do to hook it up and to stream it through your browser and stuff. Absolutely. People do it all the time. If anyone else has any like specifics with what they do with a Chromecast per se, but yeah, people put on their TVs all the time. I get screenshots nonstop with people putting on their TVs. Elizabeth, I've been doing the elimination diet with the guidance from my naturopath and just started training at the gym. So I was disappointed when my gym closed, but then I joined Swolenormous X. What up? That's the beautiful thing about having your gym wherever you want it. As long as you got some stuff at home, you can get your gains on. Even if you don't have anything, you could do the yoga classes. Even if you have no weights, you could do the yoga classes. Yeah, that's true. I mean, in my area in Florida, we got a lot of people. And the thing is, in Florida, we have 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds that are testing positive. Again, just because and let's get the proper information. Just because you test positive doesn't mean you're on your deathbed. A lot of people are assuming that testing positive means like, you're on a respirator. I mean, if you test positive, it means you have the virus. It doesn't mean that you actually are in that bad of a situation. Doesn't mean that you're feeling sick. You might feel fine. You might have a little bit of a sniffles and you're on quarantine for a couple weeks, but you might not have anything, but you still tested positive. It just means that you have to quarantine so you don't spread it. Because if you have it and then you're going to the gym and you're going to the movies and you're coughing and you're sniffling, you're just spreading it to more people. So it doesn't mean that just because you test positive, oh my God, a 20-year-old has it. A lot of 20-year-olds are going to get it. Some of the estimates are like 50% to 70% of people are going to get it, but the severity of it can be mitigated. It's the severity of the spread, and there are a lot of cases in Florida. Yeah, yeah, Florida's getting bad pretty fast. They're spreading fast, and that's a great point, Rodolfo. You shouldn't stress about it too much. Stress takes a toll on the immune system. It's true. It's true. That's why meditation, yoga, Jesus, hitting everything. Those types of practices are really important because it mitigates your stress, and then it's just going to make your life more reasonable and more manageable. Now everyone wants to wipe down the equipment. Yeah, now finally people want to wipe that shit down. Nasty beaches. Nasty fucking beaches. Yo, nasty ass. Let's see here. Scrolling. Any questions? I kind of answered this. I mean, of course, how long do I think? Well, I think it's going to be at least a couple months, and then there's going to be another wave. Personally, I don't see how there can't be another wave, but next year or this winter, it depends on how quickly or the severity or how they're able to mitigate the spread and if it doesn't mutate and stuff. These are just all projections, and of course, of all people, I have the least amount of fucking idea of what to expect from that, but that's just from what I've seen. It just makes sense that as this gets handled over the next couple months, and at least maybe we get back to some kind of a normal routine, we have the winter coming up, and then the winter is going to happen again. Let's see here. Are sesame oil and fish sauce okay during the elimination diet? What the fuck is fish sauce? What is that? I don't get that. I don't know what that is. It sounds like something that I would say no to. But just a reminder that when you're doing an elimination diet, you're testing whatever you eliminate. So if you're not eliminating it, you're not aware of what's in it that you might be sensitive to. So you're not gonna be able to test anything you don't remove. So I don't know what fish sauce is, but it sounds like something you should be cutting out anyway. Fish sauce. Empty shelves of toilet paper. What the fuck is with the toilet paper? Take a poop. Take a poop and take a shower. Take a poop and take a shower. Let's see here. I'm swole working out at home. Good shit. Do we gain or lose muscle when losing weight? Well, most times people, when they lose weight, they lose everything. Most people don't. Most people that are losing weight don't have much muscle to begin with, but you can lose both. It depends. It depends if you're training, if your body needs to maintain muscle mass, and it depends on how you're eating. So if you're not lifting weights, your body is not really going to maintain as much muscle mass. Why would it? You have to still use it. You still have to use the muscles. If you don't use it, you lose it. What are my thoughts on frozen, canned, dried fruits and veggies? Frozen. I don't eat canned or dried stuff. I mean, I eat frozen fruit all the time. I think frozen fruit's better for you because they clean it and it's picked at ripeness. So when the problem with a lot of fresh produce, if it's not seasonal, so if you're eating things out of season and it's shipped from around the world, they're usually picking it before it's ripe. So they're either using gas to ripen it or it's going to ripen, but it's not going to have the right nutrient quantities because it didn't tree ripen. It didn't, it wasn't on the stalk or the branch or the tree long enough to fully develop and to have the proper, chemical composition that like a naturally ripened fruit. Like that's why it tastes different. That's why a lot of fruit doesn't have flavor. But if you get frozen fruit, they pick that when it's at peak ripeness and they freeze it and they flash freeze it or whatever they do. So it stays fresh and it's fully ripened for the most part. I mean, unless there's certain companies that don't, but it doesn't make sense. So when you're thawing it, it's already ready to eat and it's ripe, as opposed to getting fresh fruit. If it's in season, then it's picked locally. When I say in season, that means locally. So if they're picking it, in your state and they're bringing it to the supermarket, it's going to be more ripened when they pick it because they can. They don't have to gauge for that week or two when it has to be shipped across the sea. So if it's not in season in your area, then they're shipping it and they're picking it before it's ripe so it doesn't rot by the time it gets to the shelves, and then you're getting less quality fruit. Let's see here. I'm scrolling. I might miss some questions. If I miss it, just drop it again and I'll try to get back to it because there's a lot of questions and comments coming in. I want to try to stay current on that. There you go. There you go, Auriga. Very nice. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Will, what's your recommended substitution for pull-ups when you're stuck at home without a pull-up bar? I was doing Renegade rows, but if there's another option, I'm all ears. You can have TRX. You can use a TRX if you have that, or suspension trainer, or you can get one. You can get those equalizer bars, those dip bars, and do inverted rows on that. I have two of them. There's going to be a lot of demos and stuff for home workouts that I'm putting together because I'm working out at home and I'm building out some things in order to do more demos and to provide a lot more additional content specifically for training at home, because a lot of you are going to be training at home, if not now, in the next couple of weeks, because as things close, those are going to be next on the list. So that's what I would recommend. Anything with body weight that you can do and the different angles and, controlling your body in free moving space is really the goal for a pull-up. But you can also order one of those door ones. Those are super cheap. Just bought a TV after 2 decades, a Swolecast on the 50-inch. What up? Swolecast. Oh, oh, oh. Not a question, just wanted to mention thank you for the preheat. It's helped me correct muscle imbalances in my legs. Good for you. Good job, Oscar. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let's get ready for the next week of Scorched Earth. Will be available tomorrow. It'll be available tomorrow. Oh, oh, oh. And we have the accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. So accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. We'll talk about a lot of stuff. And if you want to join, if you want to get access to the weekly accountability meetings and the Swole fam, you can check out swolenormousx.com. I would check the link in the previous video for the offers going down right now, but you can join for less than $3. And we got the nutrition jumpstart on the previous offer. So got some cool stuff over there. So you could join the fam and keep your community locked in. If you're going to be stuck in the house, you're working at home, yoga studio at home, all of it inside Swolenormous X fam. We're crushing it. Filmed a couple Swolga classes, so those are going to be an edit. I'm going to try to get as much done today for all of you as possible. This week's going to be there's going to be a ton of content production over the next couple weeks, of course, but I want to get some more stuff out this week. Yeah, Joe, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Lots of stuff coming this week. Looking forward to having you. Super stoked to have all of you that are looking to step up your game. We're going to crush it. Nothing closes. Our gym is open 24 hours a fucking day, 365, bitches. Let's get some more coffee here. Questions. Chris, what's up, dude? Once the testing gets to the masses, you will see the death rate drop significantly. Not to say it's not serious, but it's not at the rate they say because of limited numbers. Do you agree? I don't think we have enough data yet to know. Do I agree once testing gets to the masses? Well, what I do think is if you're taking the proper precautions, you'll maybe get to things earlier. Maybe you can get the medical attention that you need earlier before you might have serious health complications. I still think it's going to bias towards underlying health issues in the elderly, but I think a lot more younger people and people that have compromised immune systems because they're not taking care of their health at younger ages. I think that's going to create more panic when people that are a little bit younger start dying. If that's going to happen, I hope not. But that's one of the things that you're going to see some numbers maybe get a little bit lower and people are going to freak, but it's really because a lot of 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds are really unhealthy too. And my concern is that people are going to panic when it's not necessarily, oh, they had a respiratory disease to begin with, but they had diabetes or they were obese or they were eating shit or they were really stressed out and they never slept. And there's other aspects that we don't hear in the news and people start losing their minds when like a 25-year-old dies or something like that. So I hope not. I don't know what the lowest age is, but it seems like if you have a stronger immune system, you'll be okay. This is just it's excessive action to get ahead of the problem, and then hopefully it is overreacting. The problem is people that complain. The problem is people that the problem is that when people complain about overreacting, they're the same ones that complain when nothing enough is done. So if, oh, you guys are overreacting, and then people stop overreacting, and then it gets worse. Hey, come on, how come you didn't take this seriously? The same people will complain. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Judy, I tried to join the fam yesterday. I only received a reserved notice. A reserved notice? I don't know what you mean because I don't send anyone a reserved notice. How do I sign in? Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. I don't know what you mean by reserved notice. If you tried to join the fam, if you paid and you did all that stuff, you go right to a thank you page where you can access your content right away. It's also emailed to you. So you might want to check your spam or your promotions. Maybe your email carrier flagged it for some reason because it's a new email. You sign in with the website. So it depends on what you signed up for and what you mean by reserved notice, because I don't send that out to anyone, so I'm not sure if that's the right wording. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. We'll help you out. No problem. I mean, if you signed up and you're missing an email or login, that's no problem. We'll take care of it real fast for you. Origa. So fish sauce is made from fermented fish. It's what Thai people use instead of salt. All right. That sounds gross. Well, fermented foods can be very beneficial. I eat sauerkraut sometimes. I'll leave that up to you, but if you're not eliminating it, then you're not testing it. So it doesn't mean that it's bothering you though. But if it has soy and stuff like that, I don't know. Fish sauce is fermented anchovies. Anchovies are good for you. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look. I don't know enough about. I don't know. I don't know enough about fish sauce. Eat a fucking steak. Come on, eat a fucking steak. Get a fucking steak. A fucking fish sauce. We're sitting out here picking hairs, and picking fish sauce. Like, eat a fucking steak. God damn it. A fucking steak. Eat a fucking steak. As if you were down there. Eat a steak. I'm just kidding. Eat a steak. Just berating people. How dare you not eat a piece of steak? No, it's okay. Fish sauce added something new to my knowledge base. Fit chick 50-ish. 50-ish. Sorry I'm late. Hey, Papa, felt a twinge in my lower back. A twing in my lower back lifting today. Should I try to foam roll, yoga, or both to loosen up my lower back? I don't know. Should you? You don't want to cause any more pain. If you felt a twinge, it could just be a small stabilizer, but I would do some, as long as it doesn't cause you discomfort, you can do some yoga. I would check into some yin yoga. I would rest, maybe do like an Epsom salt bath or something like that. Go into the sauna, do something, drink plenty of water, stay safe, stay healthy. One of the things when you have an injury or something that kind of like catches you off guard like that, you want to see how that plays out. You want to take care of it, but you also have to see the next day. Okay, maybe it was just a little something. It could be worse tomorrow. It could be the same tomorrow. You have to monitor it. So in the moment, it's hard to say exactly what is going on. I mean, especially for me, because I'm just some dude online reading a comment, but you have to kind of gauge it the next day. Christian Richardson, if Amber Lynn was standing in front of you and you can only say one sentence to her, what would you say? Look, you're standing. Kevin Bell, what accessory exercises can I do to help improve my pull-ups? Isometric pull-ups, negatives, inverted rows. Accessory exercises, really nothing is going to, like doing a bicep curl, doing a dumbbell row. I mean, it might moderately help you build some muscle, but the pull-up is such a unique movement. Grip strength, forearm strength, really just practicing pull-ups. I mean, if you do isometric holds and negatives and inverted rows with isometric holds and negatives, that's all you need. You don't need accessory stuff because your body is going to get overloaded properly. One of the problems with pull-ups is people aren't fundamentally able to do a pull-up. So instead of doing isometric holds, instead of doing negatives, instead of doing inverted rows and those types of things to progress to do full isometrics or full negatives and full pull-ups, people look for other accessory exercises when it's like, no, don't go away from the problem. Go at it head on. You just need to change where you're putting the stress in the range of motion and in the actual exercise. So you could go do as many pull downs as you want on a machine. That's not going to fucking help you do a pull up. And when I say it's not going to help you, it doesn't mean that it won't get you maybe more prepared, but you can do pull downs all fucking day and still never be able to do a real fucking pull up. There's so much coordination and subtlety in that actual real human movement. I mean, one of the standard things that I do every single time I train is do just dead hangs. Just hang from a bar for a minute or two. Just do a couple sets of just dead hangs and just decompress the spine, open up the shoulder joint. They're fantastic. Just hang from a bar. That was like rap right there. Hang from a bar. Hang from a bar. Yeah. Makes me think about the cold I had at the beginning of the year. It took about 3 weeks to get over. Could it have been COVID-19? I would say probably doubtful. Unless you were traveling out of the country. There's a reason why this is all taking off now. That was probably just the general cold. And this is from my non-expert guess. But that's the thing. We're kind of coming. That's why a lot of the experts are saying now we're kind of past that actual flu season, the regular flu season. So anything that's going on now is really heightened awareness of this situation. One rep max, is it useful or pretty pointless? It's data. I never do a 1 rep max. So for my training, it's pointless. I've never done maxes. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth the reward. So for me, it's worth it. It's super high risk. There's no need for a max. You could do a 4 or 6 rep max and extrapolate your 1 rep max, but going to that limit for most people, for like 99.9% of people, you don't need to 1 rep max. Doing max sets, going to a max is totally fine. I mean, going to a max reps, but for me, the lowest I've really ever gone is like 4 reps. I don't like doing 2 or 3 reps, but singles, yeah, because you have to really prepare for that. A lot of people just go in and 1 rep max and pretend like you don't just go in and max. You have to actually progress to that point because that's maximum overload, potentially too much than your body can handle. It's very easy to get hurt on a 1 rep max if you're not prepared training wise for 1 rep max. You don't just do, hey, 15 reps all the time. I'm going to max out today. That's not how you're going to fucking hurt yourself. Even if you're lifting all the time, you have to progress to a 1 rep max or have a lot of experience and proficiency. That's why a lot of people get hurt. They don't know how to do things. They think, oh, I'm just going to try. How much can I do one time? Yep, you're going to fuck your world up. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're going to fuck up your shit. Margaret Dockstada. First time catching the Ask Papa Swolio live. Love your content. Really opened my eyes on proper nutrition and the need for yoga with proper training. Preach. Everyone do yoga. If you're stuck at home, practice your yoga. Antonia B. Look at that hashtag in the name. Look at that hashtag in the name. My name, hashtag Antonia B. People always look at you strange when bringing my own food. Do you also experience that? I have in the past. I never really gave a shit. It was happening anyway. Everyone deals with that. Who cares? Fuck what other people think. Matters zero. Opinion on rope climbing. Entertainment or necessity? If you're in a situation where climbing a rope is like a survival thing, you're in a tough situation. My opinion on rope climbing, it's very functional to climbing ropes. I think you should be able to climb a rope. Doing rope climbing for consistent training it's not really something that's necessary to do all the time. Like for me, if I had to climb a rope, I could. Am I going to do sets of rope climbing? I don't find the need for that to be a part of my programming. But let's say I had to climb a rope to survive, I could do that, which I think is important. I could do pull-ups and I can do grip strength exercises. I think it's a cool thing to add in. Could be like a burnout set at the end of an arm workout or something like that, or a warm up a little bit. But I mean, if there's a specific purpose for you to practice a lot of rope climbs, like for example, if you're in law enforcement or if you're in the fire department or if you're in one of those like emergency responders, military, that has a ton of application because you're going to be in a lot of situations where you might have to climb up a rope on the outside of a building, or might have to makeshift something, and climbing up a rope can be saving your life or saving someone else's. That can be what determines, or holding onto a rope in an emergency situation and not letting go because you're hanging between a gap or a building. You never know. So grip strength is really important. Again, that's called training for your need. That's like training for a sport. You train a certain way for basketball. You train a certain way for football, for the fire department, for the military, to be a Navy SEAL. You need certain things. You need certain capacity. You need certain adaptations and skills, and you need to be able to handle certain things when you're trying to, for a sport or for your career, or for whatever it is. Have I tried a weighted blanket? No, but that's usually gives a lot of people a lot of comfort. They have those things over the eyes too. You can put things over your face and it gives pressure. It can help. It can help people sleep better. Usually a weighted cold blanket is best. One of the things that can help people sleep a lot is a cold room. So make sure your room is cold, 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 cold. You received a reserved message. Oh, you clicked the link to join, but you never scroll down to join. because it says your offer has been reserved when you get to the page, but you have to scroll so you can get the membership. You have to actually like go to it. Yeah, if that was your question, yeah, you just have to actually scroll. Hey, Papa, I have kettlebells at home but no free weights. Well, good for you, because that's a kettlebell's a free weight. So you're in a good spot. I know there's some kettlebell stuff in Swolenormous X, but I would love if you program some routines. I might. I don't have a kettlebell here, but it's possible. I'm not sure if I'm going to purchase one. We'll see if it comes in. I've been looking at it, but I don't want to be. But yes, of course, there'll be some more kettlebell stuff. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. That's going to be something that will have to be factored into the priority list. Everyone's posting at home training videos. I wonder why. No, I don't watch other people's videos like that. I don't care what they say about training at home. I know how to train at home. Are your classes okay for total newbies? It's designed for all levels. Yeah. There's full workout programs, there's yoga classes, there's chair yoga classes, there's beginner yoga classes, there's 30-minute express classes, there's yin yoga, there's ashtanga vinyasa, levels 1, 2, and 3. There's tons of stuff. Swole and 7, there's lots of stuff. Is jasmine rice okay during the elimination diet? I like jasmine rice. In terms of an elimination diet, again, whatever you eliminate, you can test. So rice is a grain, but a lot of people don't have issues with white rice. So it's something that's up to you whether or not you want to remove it. It could also be the quality or how well you wash it and take care of your products, what kind. But it doesn't sound like that will, it usually doesn't bother most people. That's why white rice is so universal. Most people don't have issues with it, but some people do. That's a good one, Greg. If you can't afford a test, go donate blood. It's a loophole. They have to test you. That's true. Let's see here. Candice Schashinger, if I said that right. I worked a 16-hour shift last night. We are overwhelmed with trivial shit and our hospitals are not protecting us. Can you remind people to only go to the hospital in event of an actual emergency? Sure. Well, I can give my opinion on that. One of the issues with that kind of fear mongering by the media, going a little bit further away from actual fact and more towards how many people died? Well, how about how many people survived? If you're not feeling well, as with any normal flu or virus or sniffles or cough, stay home, drink plenty of water, get rest, take care of yourself, and only go to the hospital if it's to the point where you need to go to the hospital. Like with a normal flu, you wouldn't go to the hospital unless you were really bad. A lot of people are sniffling and coughing. They don't go. They don't panic. So if it gets to the point where you need to go, you all know what that point is. When if your fever's like 103, 104, and it's like prolonged, doesn't break, you fucking go. Like you take it. You don't want to just go when you have, my fever's at 100. So don't go running to the hospital. And look, this is my opinion. I'm not saying don't go if you're sick, but it should be limited to more people that have like higher risk. If you're just a person that doesn't feel well, take care of yourself, because if it gets better, just stay inside and don't be spreading whatever you have. Like you shouldn't spread the normal flu. That's what, like, this is stronger. It's spreading faster per se, but it's no different than normal sickness. You don't want to spread normal sickness. Most people, it's so funny how now everyone's closing gyms and no one's going to the gym and stuff like that, or some people are, but you know what I mean? A lot of people are staying home and taking this super serious. Before this, like a couple, and you see my Instagram stories all the time. Hey, I don't feel so good. I have a little bit of sniffles, a little bit of a cough. Is it okay to go gym? Should I go to the gym when I'm sick? I get that question all the fucking time. And I say, fuck no, you asshole. If you're sick, don't go to the fucking gym. It's not good for your body. You're fighting an infection. Plus, you're going to get other people sick, you idiot. I normally say that on my Instagram stories. I'm always calling people fucking moron, jabroni, fucktards, because they're like asking me, I don't feel good. Should I go to the gym? Yeah, sweat it out. That's going to help. Yeah, sweat it out. Just fucking sickness just goes out through it just fucking evaporates from your body when you're doing bicep curls. Yeah. It just leaves in your sweat. Fucking sweat it out. The stupidest fucking thing ever. As if it disappears through your fucking pores. Because people go and they exercise anyway, and then their body will normally get over the sickness, and then all of a sudden they feel better. Yeah, but I worked out and I feel better the next day. You would have felt better the next day anyway, bro. Like you were getting better. The workout didn't help. If anything, it made it it made it more of a risk, and you just feel good because you worked out, and psychologically you feel better, and placebo effects are super strong. Bruce, what do you think about compression pants? Are they good for circulation? Can it help out with loose skin? As far as I know, wearing anything tight's not going to help anything with loose skin. It's going to hold it in. It's not going to like decrease loose skin, as far as I'm aware. That'd be an easy fix. Just compress your body, just squeeze it in. I think you can ask John from Obese to Beast. I think he'll tell you that right away. He can wear all the tight shit he wants. He still has loose skin. And he wears that as a badge of honor because he lost a lot of weight, and a lot of you follow his channel, so you can go check out his stuff. But I don't think there's anything like that aside from surgery. Are they good for circulation? I'm sure they are. The ones that help venous return, maybe for people that have peripheral issues. What do I think about it? Can it be beneficial? A lot of times the compression pants are cut, or the fabric is tight in a certain way that can help with explosive power, maybe for sports or for helping circulation a little bit. But I mean, if you're looking for magic, it's not going to make you an athlete if you're not already. Do you have a yoga only membership? Yeah, we just recently launched one for this no sign up fee special. So if you go check it out, it's on the previous post, the actual link. You might see it floating around Instagram. Got some offers running, but you can check out the link in the description of the previous YouTube video. Will take you to the current stuff we got going on right now. We talk about fit shaming all the time. We do. Oh, come on. If you were forced to change your hair color, what would it be? And can't be dyed to it? Nah, I don't fucking care. What would it be if you were forced to dye your hair? I don't give a shit. If I was forced to dye it, I'd probably dye it a shade darker so it looks almost the same. You just insulted a ton of people that do hair. They're like, it's so different. And you're like, it's not different. It's so different. That's a completely different shade. That's such a different base. You have no idea. And Tony, I've answered this question like 5 times. You can stop commenting it now. I answered that. I'm scrolling, I guess. I'm a little back up. Do you have any plans for your next Procast? Not at this time. If for the next Procast, when it's done, it'll be exclusively in Swole TV. So I don't have anything currently. We've got a lot more things that are more important and pending right now than another episode of that. But YouTube didn't promote, or the audience just didn't see it enough, so it's not worth posting it on the page. But a lot of that stuff will be exclusively in Swole TV. But since all this stuff has ramped up, a lot of like the content production, the focus has changed dramatically. So there's a lot of different focus. A lot of things are going to get shelved for now. Emilian, do you think that folks will learn their lesson about nutrition from this? No, I don't. If anything, it'll be quite the opposite, because people are treating it as if the power's going out. People are treating it like they can't cook food. And like, the power's on. It's not a computer virus. It's not like it's power's on. You can cook. It's all right. My son wants to know, when hanging from a bar, are your arms straight or slightly bent? If you're doing a dead hang, it's completely bent and rolled up. You're completely upwardly rotated. But just make sure when you're doing that, when you're going to full extension and hang, that you do so very slowly. If you're doing a dead hang. Let's see. Scroll. What type of music do you listen to when getting a workout pump? Could be anything. Could be trance. Could be metal. Could be a podcast. Depends on what mood I'm in. Zach, are you concerned at all about a major recession and what that could mean for Swolenormous? Well, it's going to mean if there's a major recession, it's going to mean a lot of things for a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces that are going to put things into perspective for people. But one thing that I am committed to is all the members. I'm committed to making sure that all of you have the same service that you've always had and that you always want access to. And something like this, that's a health crisis, it's a little bit of a different focus because in other situations, for example, if people have like financial limitations, they might be like, well, I'm going to go to the gym, but I'm going to discontinue this service because I have to choose one. Well, if your gym is closed, for example, what are you going to do? Like, what workouts are you going to do? What programs are you going to do when you can't go to the gym? You're going to have to do stuff at home. What do you do at home? Oh, my yoga studio is closed. How am I going to do yoga? I don't know what to do. I can do a couple stretches. That's why we have the yoga studio. That's why all this stuff is designed to be done anywhere. And it's perfect for this situation. Not, not to take it lightly, but it's perfect for when you can't leave. You have to do stuff at home. What do I do? That's why that's the whole uh, one of the biggest reasons why the focus is shifting. And this is, it's coincidentally one of the things I wanted to work on this year anyway. So now I'm kind of doubling down and I'm like, okay, cool. All my training and all my content, I'm going to be focused on doing it at home. And then if you still have access to your gym or you have a bigger home gym, then you can do the barbell squats. You could do those heavier exercise and you're not worried about this because you train at home anyway. But what about people that are going to be changing their structure and changing their entire workouts because they just don't have the equipment or the ability or the information, the knowledge to execute a workout program that can even remotely match what they're doing at the gym. So there's going to be a lot of different stuff available. And yeah, I mean, I'm not stopping. I'm not going to stop doing any kind of broadcast. I mean, unless the power goes out, I'm not going to stop anything that I'm doing. And Swolenormous is me, and I am Swolenormous, and so are all of we. So are all of us. Look, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen unless we allow it to happen. Because Swolenormous is a lot bigger than money. Swolenormous is a lot bigger than just the internet. This approach, the 7 pillars, everything, our community, it's not about the money. So, like the recession, this kind of stress just means we all need each other more. We just need this more. So we're all in this together and we'll just take it one step at a time. We'll take it one day at a time. We'll see how things go and progress. And then whenever things need to change for however they need to change, I'll change them. I'm not afraid to make any kind of changes or adjustments. So we'll do it. We'll do whatever it takes. And I'll do whatever it takes. Auriga, this is very anatomical. Will a not or barely functional deltoid limit my ability to build the other muscles around it? A barely functional deltoid. Of course, any kind of limitation in your body will affect the action or the working of any muscle because your body will be guarding and moving differently and compensating. I don't know, like how do you have a barely functional deltoid? Like what's going on? Fly Like a Bee TV, opinion on every damn day fitness. Latest community post about not listening to government officials about curfews and social distancing. I haven't seen it. About not listening? I don't know. I didn't read the post. I don't want to comment on something I didn't see. What's more of the context with that? I mean, of course I could take a look, but Hilda Heimkollen. So you have the coronavirus. A little cold is worse than the coronavirus. I almost have no symptoms and I have it. Well, I mean, again, let's talk about the real information. Some people get the regular flu and die from it. People with compromised immune systems can die from the normal flu. That's very common when it comes to other diseases. And this is where the science and the medicine gets distorted because if you are normally, let's say you're in the hospital, you're elderly and you're on medication, you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure, you're already at risk from the flu. You're already at risk from pneumonia and you're at risk. A lot of people die from other things. They don't die from what they have, that chronic disease or ailment. weakens their immune system in their bodies over years or decades, and then they get the flu and they fucking die. So they died from the flu, but they really died from not taking care of themselves or having a genetic issue or having other types of environmental exposures that wears them down over years and decades. So when they get the flu, they're not prepared. Their bodies aren't prepared. But then it gets attributed to, oh, so and so caught the flu, died from the flu, or they'll say complications, cause of death. It can be a little bit deceiving, those stats too. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Did you know that the biggest loser contestant that broke her ankle is not allowed to rest or go home? Oh God, really? Like really? Really, really isn't allowed to go home? Yikes. If I was getting a few weights for a home gym, would you suggest would 2 sets of dumbbells and a kettlebell be okay? It could be for a home gym, like you have a bench and stuff. 2 sets of dumbbells and a kettlebell. It depends on what you're trying to do, how heavy they are, what you're. It would certainly be a great start. Home gyms can have there's so many different ways to have a home gym. There's so many different things. You can have a home gym with all bands. Like you could do so many different things. So it's hard to say, would that be okay? Is there something else I should get? Well, how much money are you looking to spend? How much space do you have? Like there's so much stuff you could do. Hi from Norway. What's up in these in these Corona days? The Corona days. We've been following the news and your show from the situation we are now in. It comes up a lot of unexplainable dilemmas. What do you mean unexplainable dilemmas? You mean in terms of like what people should be doing? Is it lack of information or stupidity? I think it's a little bit of overstimulation from being overly assaulted with sensationalist news all the time. So either people, one, just think it's another boy who cried wolf, like people are just making it a big deal in these sensitive days. And I think it's also too much information, that good information or real information and logic get drowned out by the noise. So that's why I was mentioning in my previous YouTube video, or one of them, about the podcast, to listen to experts, listen to people that actually have experience. Don't listen to your fucking mother. Don't listen to your best friend that just watched the news, that likes to rant and worry about everything. You need to listen to the actual facts. And even though the facts have big numbers, well, guess what? There's 7.5 billion people in the world. So saying that 100 million people or 1 million people will die, there's 400 million people, or 350, whatever the number is. It's a lot of people, but a lot of people like that die all the time anyway. This is just going to take out a lot of people. It's going to take out a lot of people that have heart disease. So maybe the people that have heart disease that would die from heart disease might end up dying from the coronavirus, but they had heart disease as well. And maybe that would have taken them out in 3 years. But now they're getting taken out. So, it's these numbers. We forget how many people are around us. We're learning now how many people are in the country because they're all fucking stealing the toilet paper off the shelves. So now we're just seeing firsthand how many people there actually are. And these are the normal people that are normally around. They're just all in one place getting food and stuff at the same time. So it seems like, oh my God, everyone's rushing. There's just a lot of people. And if everyone goes to one spot at one time, it's called a concert or a rave. It's just huge. It's a huge event because there's so many people. You have New Year's, like, in Times Square, you have like 1 million or 2 million people. It's just 1 or 2 million people. Like, that's the amount of people that might die from this. It's like, you didn't go. You didn't go to Times Square for New Year's. How many people didn't go to Times Square for New Year's? Most people. So, I mean, it's a large number when you compare 1 million to 0. But when you compare it to 400 million or 7.5 billion, it's a drop in the bucket. And our lives are finite. Just people are seeing their mortality in front of their eyes. And of course, the sensationalist media, I wouldn't say exaggerate it, but they do. But the thing is, the exaggeration covers up the seriousness of real facts. And to overreact is important now. It's important to overreact so you can get ahead of these things. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to fucking drop dead. So people say, okay, if you're overreacting, then you think it's going to be the next plague. That's not true. You overreact so you will never, ever, 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 ever regret not doing enough. That's so important because one, they're going to be liable if they don't do enough. They're liable if they get shit on if they overreact, quote unquote. And if they don't overreact, they'll get shit on if it gets ahead of them and they weren't prepared or they didn't do enough. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. I prefer the overreaction and nothing happens. But that's another issue. If nothing really bad happens or it's not that bad, people are gonna be like, oh, no big deal. And then in the winter, it's gonna fucking hit again, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, it came back. I thought you took care of it, because they don't understand how these things work. And if you look into it, they can almost guarantee that it's gonna come back around in the winter. Like it's not over now. It's gonna be a little bit of a wave, and it's gonna come back because in the winter, when people are sick again and out in public again and mingling again, just like any flu, it comes back around and people are going to get this one again. They're going to worry about it again. And, it just makes sense. Well, it makes sense. But again, anytime something makes sense, you have to remember, oh, there are a lot of stupid people in this world. There are a lot of dumb people. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, I forgot who's around here. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot all the fucking morons out there. I forgot about those guys. I forgot about those guys. How do we get the yoga classes to stream to our TV? You just, with your phone, you stream it to your TV. You can hook it up. You can go on your web browser on your smart TV. You can plug in your laptop, like any way you would normally put a computer monitor to your TV. I agree, Greg. I appreciate that. I think it's amazing that you have that deal going on now. I think it was no sign up fee. Great time. People actually concerned for their health, maybe get a few of them to join the fam. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, what we're doing is not like our gym is always open. That's what some of those like, advertisements and my promotions say. It's like our gym's always open. And I want to let people know that you're going to, if you're going to train at home, like, I don't want you to stop training. Don't stop taking care of yourself. You're not just going to go to a crowded place. Yo, Papa Swolio, how to make money now from home. Well, let me tell you about my 7-figure plan, 7-figure coaching business where you can get your Amazon FBA. What are you looking to do? All of a sudden, a lot of people are going to start working from home now, right? Well, everyone has to. Oh, I'm really delayed on some questions. Do I have any tattoos? No. Good question. I'm scrolling. Ooh, silver hair. I'm going to have white hair when I'm older. My grandfather was completely white. I'm probably going to have white hair. See you at the movies. Aaron, Papa, what is your home gym setup? I'm going to do a little, once I get all the stuff. I mean, I had to order some other things. I mean, I'm going to have some power blocks. Bands are good. Yoga mat. You can get those, the LeBaire equalizer bars, like those dip bars are really good for inverted rows and for dips and stuff. Push-up handles or parallettes are good. You can get ankle weights. You can also have a ball. You can get a ball or a bench. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Let's see here. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I'm more concerned about the social and economic impact than I am actually about the flu or the coronavirus. I mean, it's still, you don't want to walk out. Look, you don't want to walk out just to, don't put yourself at a risk if you don't have to, but being paranoid as if you're going to fucking die from it is that's overreacting. But that's not overreacting. Like if you're afraid and you're acting like you're going to die and you're, oh my God, so afraid, that's not necessarily overreacting. That's misinformation. And that's distorting the truth to yourself. That's just not that's just not correct. I wouldn't even say that's overreacting. It's just wrong. So being positive isn't a death sentence. People are acting, oh my God, I'm tested positive. Well, you might have gotten tested positive for the sniffles. You might technically have it. You might be a carrier which means you have to lock yourself down and quarantine because if you go outside, you're going to spread it like crazy. And if you go to the gym and you go at, let's say, 1 p.m. and it's right after the Silver Sneakers group exercise class and you say hi to your normal, be like, oh, hey, and you're a group exercise instructor at your normal fitness studio and all the old people are doing chair exercises and you give them all hugs and you high five them and say hi, and then they all fucking go home and get the coronavirus and they get sick and they die. So it might not be a big deal for you, but it could be a big deal for your parents, for your grandparents, for maybe you're a cashier at a place and you're touching money and checking people out and you sneeze on someone that is at risk. That's what it's for. It's not for, oh my God, you're positive, you're gonna die. This isn't Outbreak. It's not the movie Outbreak. This isn't like fucking Motaba. But the scary part is it could be. Why couldn't it be like that? Why couldn't it be worse? Why couldn't it be a plague? It could have been. Things would have gotten locked down a lot quicker. But this honestly, this should scare the fuck out of people because there's going to be something else. The problem is people are going to get through this and then be like, okay, cool, it's over, out of sight, out of mind, not take it seriously, just like obesity. And then in another 5 or 10 years, there's going to be something worse. And we're going to be in the same fucking, but it always happens. No one cares after it's gone. Right? Just like all this, just like the shit with fucking 9/11, everyone's, oh my God, everyone takes everything fucking seriously for a year or two, and then people just don't give a fuck. And the ramifications and all the things and all the decisions and all the deaths and all the, over the course of the last 20 fucking years, you look back and wow, you mean decisions have a fucking impact? You mean decisions have long tail impact? Yeah, generational impact. So take it fucking seriously. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to use that for an Arnold joke. Thoughts on THC infused toilet paper to help people calm their asses down. I like it. I don't even know how to answer this question. Kristen, I skinned off 2.5 inches off my hand and I can't sweat. Anyone have any exercise routines? No, you can't sweat. I don't know whether to laugh or I'm sorry to hear that, but if you can't exercise, you're gonna sweat. That's how your body cools itself off. If you can't sweat, you can't sweat. Ooh. Let's see here. Questions. Let's see. Shadowcast Prime. My school is online only now. Should I avoid the gym and just work out at home? That's a personal choice. Here's the thing. If the gym is open and there's no legal restrictions, then you are under no obligation to not go to the gym. However, if you have an existing underlying issue, if you have contact, this is just, look, holy shit. Again, my opinion, go do your own research. But if you live with your parents and you take care of them or they're elderly or you have grandparents, you have contact with people that you might pass something along to. If you're not worried about yourself, think about other people. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people take care of their parents or their grandparents or they have interactions like that. And you could put them at risk if it's something else to think about. And that's serious. So whether or not you think it's just going to be a little sniffles or a cold, sure, but it might kill your family. That's just the harsh truth. Your people that you care about might get sick as a result of you being out there. So there's that possibility too. And that's not scare tactics. That's the facts. And it's the facts with any kind of virus or infection, right? Johan Gunnarsson. Okay, question. Although I know many of the answers out there, I would love to get your thoughts. I'm 38 and worried about being too old to gain muscle. What do you recommend? I'm 36. So you're fine. What I recommend not being a huge pussy and training like a beast. Yeah. Train hard. You're absolutely not too old at all. Get the fuck out of here. You're doing great. Go fucking smash. You're not too old at fucking all. Go get it. Go get it. What do I think about piercings? Personal preference. My ears are pierced. I don't care if you have a piercing or people. What do I think about it? I mean, if you want one, go get it. Heather, what exercise do you recommend for strengthening the ankles? I'm looking again to dancing again, worried about re-injuring them. Stabilization, balance exercises, but make sure you're in a position or in a unstable situation that you can control. Just avoid those fucking wobble boards and shit like that. Those teach people how to have unstable joints more than they do stable joints. You want to have control of your instability. So single leg exercise are great. You can do swimming. You can do walking on the beach and stuff like that. Situations where you don't want to roll your ankle, but situations where your body and your ankles have to dynamically stabilize and have a little resistance. And when you strengthen your ankles, it's really also like your peroneals or your fibularis muscles on the side, your anterior tibialis, and your extensors in the front of your ankle are usually weak because people that wear high heels or even sneakers they're in chronic plantar flexion. So those muscles deactivate big time on the front of their shins, which can lead to shin splints, can lead to postural distortions like anterior pelvic tilt and, knee valgus, just putting pressure on the ACL and stuff like that. So things like that are beneficial. Yoga. Yoga. Should I stop jogging outside and use the treadmill? I don't think it's to that point yet. It's not like it's airborne flying through the air. So you're fine. You can go jog outside. Now, if you're jogging outside, then you run up to like a street to cross the street and you push that button for the light to turn green and someone just fucking spit on it and then you lick your finger, you might still get it from, but you won't know for sure. So, I mean, it's not to the point where you can't go outside. But I mean, if you're opening a door to your apartment complex and, again, you wash your hands, don't like touch the doorknob and then lick your palm. Not a good move anyway. So it's not like you go outside, you're going to get sick from the sun or something like that. So that's a kind of personal overreacting. It doesn't mean you can't be in public or go to a store. It just means if you're in a store and there's 100 people around, you're in a crowded area and if anything's in there, it can spread faster. So it's just one of those things. Mehan, that's a name. I love it. Mehan. Hi from South Africa. What's up? I'm a complete beginner to exercise. Any recommendations on what kind of exercise to begin with? New sub. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the community. Make sure you also check out the podcast channel so you can join every day. I'm kind of a complete beginner. Recommendations. I would recommend starting with yoga. And here's the reason. Yoga and weight training is great, but a lot of people, when they first start exercising, they don't have good body control. And plus, you don't need any kind of equipment. So it really teaches you the fundamental balance of your body. It teaches you how your body moves. It teaches you maybe where you feel tight, where you feel stiff, and it'll activate a lot of stabilizers that would have to be, compiled with many different individual exercises led by someone who really knows how to cue you through those. So yoga is a really great start. And then you can, segue into a basic strength training program, but I would definitely get into the yoga first because I think you'll really get a hell of a workout as well as wake up your body and learn a lot more about how your body should move and activate certain muscles before you get into the gym. I wish I started with yoga. So this is what I'm telling my younger self, so to speak. Where do I join your gym at? You can check out actually the previous YouTube video. You can go to swolenormousx.com. You can also go to swolenormousx.com. The previous link in the description of the previous YouTube video has the site because there's a couple of hyphens in there, which I kind of regret having, but I might create another sister site that has a better, but yeah, swolenormousx.com. And then you can also check out the previous YouTube video in the description. Got a Swole at home. So you can get Swole at home special. The toilet papers. Fucking Christ. Monkey Boy, I'm nearing the end of the 90-day dash. My plan is to keep going to the gym as long as I'm allowed. If it closes and I change focus to all yoga, am I good to pick up where I left off when it reopens? It depends on how long. You know, if you're at the end of the, if you're doing like heavy bodybuilding training at the end of the 90-day dash and you just do all yoga for like 2 months, for example, and then come back, you don't want to jump right back in. You're going to have to, ramp back up or decrease the volume a lot because you're going to feel really sore and overloaded. So just be careful. It depends on how long you're out from your normal routine. If you, or your resistance training, you don't want to take like 3 weeks off and just come back in lifting or doing the same volume because you're going to really cripple yourself. Let's see, Naveed. Who do you think is the best natural bodybuilder of all time? Based on, I have no idea. I don't know who a natural bodybuilder. that's kind of a joke. Because any bodybuilder that anyone knows the fucking names of aren't natural. Let's see here. Gladiatus Minimus. Greetings from Denmark. We are pretty much on lockdown and gyms are closed. I got some weights at home, but looking to do some more mobility too. What kind of yoga is good for a stiff beginner? All levels flows. Level 1, chair, starter classes. You can do yin yoga. Yin yoga is completely passive, so everything's modifiable. Gladiatus Minimus. I would check out the special going on right now. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can edit that. You could post that link. Let me see here. Get the live dashboard. Let me see how that pulls up. I don't know if I could change the links in the description right now. Let me see if I could do that. I'll see if I could do that. What's buffering? Daddy's buffering? No way. Looking good right now. Let me see if I have this. Copy link. Let me see if it'll show up. I'll put that in the post description. See if I can update that. I don't know if that will update right away. But yeah, you can check that. I would check the description of the previous video, and then it'll be up in the description below here afterwards if you want to check out our yoga memberships and unlimited access memberships. All right, let's see here. Dusanka Pesik. Oh, thank you. I recently subscribed, and it's probably the best thing I did so far. Can you explain to me a little bit more about the elimination diet and how I can stop binge eating? By the way, I started doing yoga, and it's great. Excellent. Have you checked out The Kitchen? I would recommend watching the Nutrition Jumpstart series and reading through the Nutrition Jumpstart manual because it walks you through all of that. And in terms of the binge eating, I would recommend also starting your first post in the private Facebook group. So introduce yourself. And you could also check out the Brain Gains meditation section because that'll get you started. And a lot of people will recommend that you do that anyway. If you post up in the group and talk about binge eating, they'll recommend you start with one of the Brain Gain sessions. Community is so important, especially when it comes to surrounding yourself with people that are going to support you dealing with those kinds of triggers that will lead to binge eating. So just actually like talking to people and letting everyone know what your situation is and kind of talking it out and posting it up will give you a lot of perspective on how to handle it yourself. Let me see, Mike Miller. I'm watching this on my phone. My wife is beside me. I took a drink of water. She says, "Oh, is it water break time?" And she knows a routine. We're going to have to get the water break on. We'll get the water break on soon. Oh, I'm sorry. And everyone, just reminder, Swole Fam. Hashtag Swole Fam for today's Swole card, 1409. Hashtag Swole Fam. How do I decide? How do I decide if a person has good bodybuilding genetics? I mean, you look at their pictures when they're younger and when they get older. A lot of people that have good genetics or good fundamental genetics will show predisposition to having good proportions and like general muscle tone from when they're younger. When they hit puberty, naturally, your body will build more muscle, even just without working out. Joe Rizzi, hey Papa, why do you wear sunglasses inside again? My friend would like to know. I suffer from a severe condition called myoswolitis. So I have very unique, it's a very, very rare condition. And if my, I have receptors in my eyes that actually get stimulated with any type of light. And if I don't mitigate that with these prescription glasses, then I can't put a limit to how much muscle I build. So I'm trying to mitigate my size by wearing glasses just because, I mean, just buying new clothes all the time is a fucking bitch. I can't go to the gym for a week and a half. Just got my wisdom teeth out. Holy shit. I can't really eat anything nutritious. This is a good this is a good distraction. Well, good. I'm glad to distract you from the pain. Is it water time? Meltray 92. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I was wondering if I had any advice on figuring out how much I should eat. Well, I mean, what are you trying to do? That all has to do with you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to lose weight. What's your composition? Are you training? I know you're a massage therapist. You're very physical, but your body adapts to that well. And what are you trying to do? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Am I still heathen? I don't prescribe to any religion or belief system. So if you see me wearing necklaces and apparel, it's strictly for style and personal preference. It's not religiously intended. If I'm wearing my Mjolnir and stuff like that, I just like the style. I like that fucking hammer. It's badass. Badass. Oh yeah, nice. Just set up with my desktop for the day. Got my new desk coming. Very nice. Very nice. You're trying to lose weight, so you eat less. I mean, you want to. What are you eating now? One of the best ways to monitor or adjust what you're doing or what you should be doing is what are you doing now, and then what are you changing it to? If you're not aware of what you're doing now, you're just kind of starting off. You're not really comparing it. So it's important to assess what you're doing. Have you been gaining weight? Have you been losing weight? Have you been maintaining? And if you know you're maintaining around X amount of calories, you can focus on better quality. That's why if you see people in the comments mentioning the elimination diet, it's important to take the take the initiative to determine or to inspect and to experiment with what foods work best for your body. Because if you don't, you're just shooting in the dark. If you focus on quality first, it's going to be much better off for you. You're going to have much more success if you focus on quality first. Papa, how do I feel about zero carb, zero sugar diets? You mean carnivore? Because, or are you calling it net carbs, like eating veggies or keto? It's possible. I mean, calorie restriction works, but you need to be getting in sufficient energy and sufficient nutrients. So keto can work. I don't necessarily recommend it long term. I mean, there's periods where you can, but you can still eat carbohydrates and not be keto and be completely, much lower carb. I don't eat a lot of carbs. I think lower carb is better for most people, personally. But when I say most people, obviously not all people. Some people love or they just eat tons of carbs, but a lot of illnesses, diseases, issues come from the carb consumption. Most of the issues that people have with weight gain and weight management are because of carbohydrates. When you're exhausted, when you're chronically exhausted, your body is going to crave energy. So your body craves carbs and sugar and sweets at night. And also, for example, when you are eating carbohydrates can cause bloating, water retention because water goes with carbohydrates. You get that insulin roller coaster, you get more food cravings in general. A lot of the carbs are just not necessary. Most people don't exercise enough to warrant a high carb diet. But there's always something for everyone. And that's the thing. If you do an elimination diet, you'll actually find out more about, oh, what works best for my body, individual to me and what I need, not what someone says. Someone's telling me, I hate it when someone's like, the only way is a low carb or the only way is this. Those are people that are planting their flag and trying to sell you a cookbook or some shit. My zero carb cookbook. Oh, fuck you. Shut up. Shut up. Teach people to figure shit out themselves. Teach people how to actually navigate this world and not have to like suckle the teat of a fucking diet. If you know what foods you should be eating, you go after those fucking foods. Simple. Done. I just got back from the store. Sweet potatoes, grass finished beef, bone broth, and bananas. Oh. Still need to know how Mean Girls was. It was great. It was excellent. And they just they just postponed and canceled and stuff, all the events, but it was fantastic. I was having second thoughts about going just for that purpose, but if Mama Swolio was going, it's not gonna fare well for me anyway, so I went. We'll see what happens. No, it was good. It was fucking awesome. That movie's awesome. Mean Girls is a great movie. It's a fucking classic. It's funny as shit. And the play was phenomenal. There were certain things that, couldn't tell if it was all coming. It was a little socially, when it comes to some of the issues that are floating around, but they played it well. So hard to pick up if there was any kind of ulterior motive, but it was good. I liked it. Well, if we're not gonna be driving as much, we'll see about the driving while gaining. I have one. I filmed one a little bit while ago that I haven't edited. A lot of things are getting shelved. A lot of things are getting refocused now. We're gonna adapt. We'll get back to our normal routines and everything. The entire country, the world will get back to normal routines eventually. It's just right now we have to play smart, play it smart. Is beef jerky okay to eat? I mean, look, if you're going to eat beef, grass fed, grass finished, if that's what it is when it comes to beef jerky, great. If it's not, then it's fundamentally, a poor food, like, a Slim Jim. Like, what kind of beef jerky are you talking about? You can make your own, but what are we talking about here? How do you calculate how many ounces of water you need in a day? Well, if you live in warm climates, you're exercising more, you need more. If you have more mass, you need more. A lot of people you can say, hey, half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water, and then you can kind of go up from there. That's a general kind of Me Too-ish. Not really. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to say because they pretty much went after it. Like, it's the movie. So it's not really like, it was, I mean, you have to be careful if I'm not reading into it too much, but I kind of saw, I got those a couple times. I was kind of, I see what you're doing here. It's still funny, but I'm like, can't put that one past me. I see what you're doing here. A little too much in a couple things. Borderline, because it is the movie. They didn't write the movie. This is the play. So if they're copying the movie, it's kind of like, Jessica, what was your inspiration for Papa Swolio presses? Who hurt you? Who hurt me? Aren't those great? I guess postponing SwoleCon had its merit. Yeah, no shit. Can we do an inaugural Swole 5K? Yeah, I'm not gonna. If you want a Swole 5K at SwoleCon, we'll see how that happens because maybe next year will be the second wave of this whole virus shit. We'll see. But I'm not running. If there's a Swole 5K, I'm not even gonna do it. You guys can do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that shit. Nick Fulton, thoughts on oils when trying to lose weight? 1 tablespoon is like 120 calories. I'm struggling to drop weight despite eating good quality foods. Well, I mean, a caloric surplus or a deficit is a caloric surplus or a deficit. Eating quality foods doesn't mean that calories don't exist. Thoughts on oils? I mean, what kind of oil? Makes a big difference too. Let's do a little water break. I'm thirsty. Got shit to do, so I'm not up too fucking late. We got stuff to do. Fam. Here we go. Let's get the water break going. Everyone get your water. Water. Water break, bitches. Water break, bitches. You ready? Get your water. Here we go. Water break. I need some I need some eggplants and some water droplets. You all need to bust a nut in the comments. We need to get this going. Come on. Drop in the comments. There you go. Drop in the comments. You know who you are. Come on. Come on. You know who you are, motherfucker. You know. You know. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Yes. I know. I know. It's time. It is time. 3, 2, schwamm. Dance time. Hey, kitty. Yes, kitty. Good kitty. Yeah, good kitty. Okay. Good kitty. Good, good, good. Yes, good. Good kitty. Yeah, good fucking kitty. Good kitty. I got a burp. Hold on, it's coming. Don't worry, I didn't forget. That was one of those burps where I need like a moment of silence afterwards. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that felt good. It's like an experience when you release that shit. My god. Oh, that was fantastic. That was great. That was fucking great. Fucking loved it. Let it go. All right, here we go. Let's do a little Swole card giveaway, and a reminder that tomorrow's accountability meeting live 12 noon Eastern time inside the Swole fam. If you want to join, you want to hook it up, make sure you check out the post in the description. Check out swolenormousx.com. You can check out the description, the post that's the link that's in the previous YouTube video on the channel. They'll take you to the Swole at Home special, so you can get started. Yoga membership, unlimited access, no sign-up fees. Super cool, awesome special going on right now, so you can get started. Today is a great time. Our gym is always open. Full yoga classes, hundreds of yoga classes, mobility classes, Swollen 7. We got the Swolga. We got the programs, a 90-day dash. We got Swole season. We got Scorched Earth. We have the next week of Scorched Earth is releasing tomorrow, so a lot of exciting shit. So we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow, episode 1410, tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time in the fam. And tomorrow is a priority access episode. So if you're not a member, this will not be streamed live. So you can join. And like I mentioned before, you can join over at swolenormousx.com and get access to the Swole fam and the weekly accountability meetings. Even if you're not ready quite to join as a member, you can get started for $2.99, $2.99, less than $3. So it's a no-brainer. I recommend it. And we'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting. But hashtag Swole fam, let's do a little giveaway. I'm going to scroll and see who wins. Let's get a little scrolling music. Here we go. Swole fam. All right, fam. Here we go. We got the Swole fam going. Scrolling. Who's going to win? Hashtag Swole fam. Hashtag Swole fam. Look at that. Congratulations. Auriga. Oh, my goodness. Hey, you were all over this podcast today. Congratulations. Excellent. Excelente. Very nice. Very, very nice. Congratulations. Welcome, and congratulations. Just send us an email. Auriga. Everyone say congratulations, Auriga. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com with the in the subject Swole card 1409, and of course your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll send out that Swole card. I have new envelopes coming in, so those of you that are still waiting, there is a massive load of cards that will go out, and then of course, who knows what's going to happen with international mail? Just who knows? We'll see what happens. So hopefully everyone gets them, but you can expect a little more delays, I would assume. So congratulations. Everyone say congratulations. Auriga, congratulations. Don't be a beach.
Come on, stop whining.
Don't be a beach. Thank you so much. Remember, everyone, tomorrow, 1410, weekly accountability meeting. Priority access, members only. Make sure you go and check out swolenormousx.com. And also for the Swole at Home, there we go, the whole Swole at Home special, you can check the description on the previous YouTube video right there for the Swole at Home special. Get started, yoga, unlimited access, your choice. You can join the Swole fam. You can get started. You can fucking keep training at home. Go get it. Go get it done. And I'll see you tomorrow for the weekly accountability meeting. Fam, peace, McGeese, deuce, Magoose, yeah, boy, Papa Swolio. Oh, out.